Hello, and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about my lesson plan. The topic that I chose for my lesson plan is the greatest common factor, or the GCM, and the least common multiple, or the LCM. Before we get to it, I'm just going to quickly share my screen. There you go. So I am going to go over this PowerPoint that I found online. It has great details, great examples, and it goes straight to the point. So I am going to start off with least common multiple. So the least common multiple is the smallest number that is common between two lists of multiples. For example, to find the LCM of 12 and 18, this is a list of 12s, multiples of 12, and this is the list of multiples of 18. As you can see here, the first number you see is both listed in 36. So that means the least common multiple of 12 is 18 and 36. This is another example for 4 and 12 is 12. The least common multiple for 4 and 12 is 12. Let's get with the greatest common factor. The greatest common factor is the largest factor that two numbers share. Let's find the GCF of 12 and 42. First, we need to make a list of factors for each number. So now we have the multiple list of 12 and the multiple list of 42. The factors of 12 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And the factor of 42 is 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 14, 21, and 42. So the common factor that they both have is 1, 2, 3, and 6. And whatever the number is the biggest is the greatest common factor, which is 6. Here is another example of 18 and 27. The list of 18 is here, and the list of 27 is here. You don't want to repeat the same numbers, so that's how we cross them out. The factor of 18 is 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 18. And for 27 is 1, 3, 9, and 27. The ones that they have in common is 1, 3, 9, and the GCF is 9. So whatever the biggest number that they have in common is the GCF. And lastly, but not least, this is our last example of 48 and 60. This is the list of 48, and this is the list of 60. Since the numbers are not repeating, that's why they're not crossed. So this is the factors of 48. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, so on. And a factor of 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The ones that they have in common is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And like I said before, the biggest number of this list is the greatest common factor. So you kind of have an idea what the GCF is and what LCM is. I also found some fun activities that the students can use in their classroom. So this is an activity called the GCF bingo. It's not a bingo that you are recognized with. It's totally different from what I imagine. In this quick video, we'll just explain it all. So here it is.
Greatest Common Factor Bingo is a game that you can play with your grade 6 students to get them calculating the greatest common factor among a set of numbers. How do you play? You play on a 5x5 grid. The yellow player goes first. They choose a number between 1 and 100 and say it out loud. Let's say 85. Both players write that number in their grid. Now it's the green player's turn. The green player says a number, 90. Both players write that number in their grids. You probably want to keep your grid secret from your opponent. You go back and forth 25 times until the entire grid is full. To score, you look at each row and each column and you calculate the greatest common factor. Write that in the little circle. Then add together all 10 of those circles to get the total score for your game. You win if that's greater than your opponent's. You might want to get your students to score the sample set of games before they play a game themselves. To make the game easier, you can choose to allow them to say the same number more than once. To make it more difficult, you might experiment with larger numbers or greatest common prime factor bingo.
So that is it for today. I really like this activity for the students. It really does help. It really helps the student understand what the topic is, and also it's a bonding for the other students as well. Creates communication skills and just bond with the other students, and that's what I like so much about the bingo activity. Well, that takes me to my end of my video. I really hope you liked it. So thank you.